Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sports grow.
So you just heard how Caitlin Clark's injury sent the WNBA All-Star Game into a financial spiral. But honestly, that initial shockwave was a multi-million-dollar catastrophe. And that's not even the full story. It's just the start. While everyone was fixated on the chaos, in Indianapolis, something much bigger and riskier was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. What's crazy is that WNBA players are now reportedly being aggressively recruited to play in Europe. All because of this Clark situation. It almost feels like a full-blown exodus could be on the horizon. Now, the league office probably doesn't want us talking about this, but the word is the WNBA might actually be using its current instability to encourage its top players to look elsewhere for better pay and recognition. Look, understanding why players might be thinking about leave really means understanding just how big this disaster was and how it exposed the league's weaknesses. It wasn't just fans second-guessing things. The WNBA actually got a financial no-confidence just from Caitlin Clark being out. And the numbers? They're wild. As soon as Clark announced she was stepping away from the All-Star festivities, ticket prices plummeted 48% from $1,011 down to $64 in a few hours. Think about that. The average ticket used to be 2 perbs in T2, the highest ever for a WNBA All-Star game. Then, suddenly, teams couldn't even give them away. Overnight, a huge chunk of the $10 million Indianapolis expected to make from the weekend just disappeared. This whole thing starkly showed that the league built its entire growth strategy around one single player. And now, that crucial player is injured, totally overloaded, and starting to break down. You've got these opportunistic European teams circling, and that, my friends, is basically blood in the water. But this isn't just about money. The real question is, why did the money vanish in the first place? It's because the league's most valuable asset, their golden goose, got run into the ground. And believe me, all the other WNBA players are paying very close attention to this. This isn't just some random accident. Caitlin Clark has already missed 11 games this season because of 4 different muscle issues. And this is the same player who famously played every single game throughout her entire college career at Iowa. And even her rookie season, she was an Iron Woman. So what changed? And get this, on social media, both fans and even commentators are pointing fingers right at the Indiana Fever organization. A lot of people believe the team's medical staff and injury care protocols are just shockingly bad, especially when you compare them to NBA standards. Even Caitlin Clark's coach, Stephanie White, has talked about the insane physical toll she takes. That 40-minute physicality, it makes you load, explode, accelerate, and decelerate in totally different ways. Now, when the league's absolute biggest star goes from being practically unbreakable to constantly injured in just one season, every other player pays attention. They're seeing a system that totally failed to protect its most valuable asset. And they're asking themselves a pretty simple question. If it can happen to her, what's stopping it from happening to me? Meanwhile, these international predators, the European leagues, have been waiting for exactly this kind of panic and loss of confidence. So, while this is the main story, and it's coming from credible industry sources, we're about to connect some dots that venture into rumor territory. There's a wild report out there suggesting European basketball leagues are now actively hunting for American players. They're specifically highlighting the WNBA's instability and these very injury management problems. They're basically poaching players. They watched the whole Clark situation unfold, saw the players getting frustrated, and now they're making their move. Given how incredibly effective this European sales pitch is, let's break down what it actually sounds like. First, they hit you with the money, which, yeah, that's obvious. Reports say top European league offers can be more than WNBA pay. Though not always, but higher pay is a super easy way to attract athletes who feel underpaid and undervalued back home. That's the hook. That's why agents pick up the phone. But here's the thing. That's not the final punt. The real knockout blow, the part of the pitch that's landing with terrifying accuracy right now, isn't about money at all. It's the promise of everything the WNBA isn't currently providing: stability, true respect for your profession, and actual career security. The documents are super clear.